Hey, what's up? This is Chris from The Longest Way. It's April 24th, 2018. I'm still in a hotel here in Bojnor. I made a strategic mistake. Remember the laundry I was so happy about yesterday? Well, last night I went to the reception and I asked them, like, what about the laundry? Is it done? They're like, no. Of course not. It's going to be done tomorrow. Today. So, yeah, I got to stay and wait. Which it's not so bad, it's just another excuse to stay in the whole day. The weather got better. It rained last night quite heavily, and now the sky is still overcast a little bit, but it's not as dark. So that's nice. And yeah, I'm in the breakfast hall here. I'm going to show you guys. I don't even know if you can hear me with a refrigerator. First of all, they got non-alcoholic beer in the refrigerator there and there, and then I quite like the atmosphere here. It's always eerily empty. And then I have bread, eggs, and some lentils or something, and that's my trusted teapot. And some, how in hotels they always have like this really strange artificially tasting orange juice, and these little packs. I don't like the packs because they're bad for the environment, but you know what you're gonna do. And yeah, another thing, I'm slightly a hypochondriac. I don't know if you are. If you are, welcome to the team. It sucks. If you're not, I'm gonna let you in on what it feels like sometimes. I woke up at like 6. Now it's, I don't know, 9:30 or something. And when I woke up at 6, I had this little pain in my right side, in my abdomen, in my tummy. And you know what that means. For a normal person, not much. You go back to sleep. For me, it can't be anything but appendicitis. So I'm laying there, I'm thinking, fuck, if that's appendicitis, I'm gonna have to go to a hospital and get surgery. Where do I want to do that? Bojnor? Do I want to go to Tehran, Mashhad, or fly home? Does that even work? Can I even go there? How fast does that go? But I know one thing, and that one thing is never Google. Never. If you're a hypochondriac, never Google health. So I didn't, and I tried to go back to sleep, and I figured, if it's appendicitis, it's gotta hurt a lot, not just a little. But it takes so much energy to kind of, tell yourself to not worry, which incidentally was, you remember the motto from a few days ago? Worries are a waste of imagination. Yeah, that's what it was. Worries are a waste of imagination. Yeah, but what you gonna do? Sometimes your imagination just goes, ooh. And then you're walking through here, and I get these comments, they're a bit strange sometimes when they go like, oh, Chris, you're so brave. Yeah, I'm like, no, you don't know me. You don't know me. Yeah, well, anyway, I'm gonna have breakfast now, and yeah, and then I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Pace, dude, dits and dudes. Peace. Hey, what's up? It's me again. I was thinking about this video that I did last week about the Fusion, the 360-degree camera, and I thought it's not quite fair. I've been talking about the Osmo, and I hate it, and I've talked about the Fusion, which is great. Now, what I've never talked about is the cameras that I actually use to shoot the photos and most of the video footage. Here they are. A lot of people have been asking, and usually when they ask, I just said DSLR, because that's what they are, DSLR. And I've changed cameras over the years, and plus I thought, I don't know, but I felt like endorsing products would be weird, But now I've come to think that, no, I can give my honest opinion, what I like and what I don't like. First of all, I used to use Canon. That was back in the first, the longest way, when I walked from Beijing to Urumqi. I used the Canon 5D1, the first one. No video, and I think it was 12 megapixels or something. And I used two of them, one with a 16 to 35 a wide angle lens that I use to take the photos of myself and some other shots, some landscapes, and 70 to 200, I believe, with a stabilizer. And I've grown to hate the wide angle lens because it was just crap on the fringes. You know, on the outside of the picture, it would be totally blurry on one side, and I took it to the Canon customer service, and they said, well, it's just a bad lens. That's what they said. They said the 17 to 40 is a better lens when it comes to sharpness. Yeah, but anyway, I was stuck with the 16 to 35. Once you've seen the unsharpness, you know, the blurriness and the fringes of the picture, you cannot unsee it, and it's just terrible. It just made me so mad. But overall, I like the cameras. I like the 5D, and I like the 70 to 200. It's a great lens for, you know, portrait or whatever. But then I switched to the Mark III, the 5D Mark III, and I still liked it, but the video was HD, and that's it, like 1080p. So like it was pretty limited. I think, from my perspective, I think 4K is the thing. Like you could do 1080p, and it's gonna look nice on a phone, but on a computer or a large screen, 4K. That's all you need. I think you could do 8K or whatever, but it wouldn't change much for the next, I don't know, 10 years or something. But 4K really looks great. So I wanted something 4K, and I wanted to get away from Canon and its size. They're just so big. So yeah, I changed for Sony. And I used to not like Sony just because, you know, tribalism. To be completely honest, I'd be like, no, Canon, that's the thing, and Nikon, they're great. Even though I'd never used a Nikon, but I just assumed they're great too. But no, Sony, that'd be like flashy, you know, and they'd have all these advertisements, and I hated them. But when you look at the specs and what these cameras can do and how they're built, they're actually pretty awesome. You know, that's what I figured out when I started reading up for, you know, equipment for this trip, which I started in 2016 in July. Before that, I would look at cameras, and I'd have one goal. I wanted to have a camera that was lighter than a 5D, and it should have 4K capabilities. That was it. I wanted 4K. So I looked around, and I found that Sony, yeah, gave me all that. They're not perfect cameras, but here's what I think about Sony versus Canon and Nikon. I think both Canon and Nikon, they're so established in the DSLR market that they can kind of afford to not give you the best stuff. You know, that like they're like, oh, you want 4K? Well, wait. And now we're gonna just, you know, make everybody buy the 1080p stuff, or you could get like a 1D, like the flagship model, for like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. But like if you want 4K, nah, that's not for you. And then maybe next year they give it to you. Or other things, like I always wanted a camera that had a built-in interval timer. Like, I mean, what's hard about that? That's like really easy. Like like my phone could do that. And but like with a 5D, I would have to buy a separate interval timer thing, like a remote, attach it to the camera, and it needed its own battery, and then, you know, it dangled there, and it just annoyed the hell out of me. And I would be like, why does Canon not give me that? And the reason that I came up with was the explanation was that they don't need to. They're like, we're Canon, like, and Nikon is like, we're Nikon, and they're both like, okay, so Nikon has better lenses and Canon has better cameras or whatever, but they're like at the top of the pack. But Sony is up and coming, so they're like, no, we're just gonna give you everything, because well, what else can they do, right? Like, they're not gonna be competitive if they just do the same stuff as the big ones, you know, up and coming Sony DSLR brands. They just put everything in there. Like the Sony here is lightweight. What is it called? Let me see. It's called A7SII. And there's two of them. There's two different kinds of these cameras. There's the R and the S. And the R has like a gazillion megapixels, huge pictures. And this one doesn't. This one is 12 megapixels, I think, But why I chose to use this one was because it has amazing low light capabilities. That's really something that I like, you know, because if you're a studio photographer, I think you don't care about light that much because you know you have your studio lights, so you can use like this gigantic megapixel monster and just shoot away. And plus, you don't care about picture size either. Like you're just gonna shoot a raw file of like 50 megapixels. That's not gonna be a problem because you're in a studio. You got your like terabyte mega drive right beside you. But me being out here, for me, 12 megapixels is enough. I would have prepared. I would have chosen 20 if they'd given me 20. I like 20 better than 12. Sometimes you want to blow something up just a little bit, so 20 would have been better. But yeah, I figured, you know, I have made like coffee table, large format photo books of the 2008 walk that I shot with the 5D1, which was 12 megapixels. So these 12 megapixels are gonna be alright for that too. But like the low light is just so awesome. Like I can hold the camera in my hand when it's like dusk, like way beyond sunset, and it's still gonna be good pictures. And I love that. Like especially for filming, I love the crap out of it. And yeah, the cameras, they have like a steady shot built in, so it's not gonna be in a lens, which I really like. It's in the camera. I don't know how it works. It's, you know, you can look it up online, but it's amazing. And yeah, I tape them up, both cameras. I always tape over like the brand name and stuff. That for two reasons. First reason is I like my cameras to look kind of rugged and old when I'm traveling, because I don't want them to be all shiny. Like, you know, I mean they're like shiny enough as they are now, but I tape over them and make them look a little bit crappy, just because I don't want them to attract any more attention than they do anyway. Second reason is I really get annoyed by the whole well, how am I gonna say this? Like it's like a dick size contest with photographers, you know? Like you go into I remember going into a Chinese temple in China, like with my Canon whatever 5D, and I got like this, you know how Canon has like a red ring around the most expensive lenses. So I go in there with my red ring lens, you know, and like these other dudes with their cameras, they'd be like looking at my camera in a way that I only knew from, you know, when you go to the gym and people are like looking at your dick or looking at how much you lift. And I'd be like, dude, just look around and take pictures. Stop staring at my camera. That's like, what are we doing? So I don't like that. I like my cameras to look a little bit shitty. But I guess, you know, anyone who knows cameras, they're going to be able to tell right away what it is anyway. So yeah, maybe I'm being a little bit silly there. But yeah, I like the cameras. I use two because I don't like to switch lenses, and I don't like the super zoom thing. I don't like zoom lenses at all, but like a super zoom is the worst thing you can do. If you go like from, I don't know, 18 millimeters to 100, that's gonna be crap. It's gonna be crap from image quality because you have too much glass, and it's gonna be crap from the aperture. It's just gonna be a very dark lens, you know? So I like using fixed focal lenses, and I like using two. So this one here is an 18 millimeter, 2.8 aperture is the most you're gonna get for like a super wide angle lens. I don't really like taking pictures with this that much because it distorts. Like it's okay for landscape or for like shots where you're in like really claustrophobic spaces. Like say you're going into a yurt or something, a yurta. You could take pictures in there, like in a small tent or whatever. But the distortion is always gonna make it look weird. Like I don't know, like what you would know from skater videos or like boarding videos or something. They always look weird because they got this distortion going on. And but I still need a lens because I still take the selfies, and I need a wide angle lens for the selfies. If I don't have a super wide for the selfies, then it's just gonna be my face, which is really boring. I want stuff on the back. I want to have like when I put it into a video, I want you to, when you're watching the video, not just to look at my face, but to look at the stuff that's going on in the back. So I need this one. the 18 millimeter. And what I've really grown to love actually is this one. It's a 35. It's a manual lens, so it's like a manual focus. No autofocus. This one does have autofocus, which I'm happy about. And I used to be skeptical about this one because who wants to like focus with their hand in 2018? But no, I love this lens. I love it so much. It has a huge aperture. It's a 2.0 aperture. It's very nice and sharp. You know how there's like this feel to a lens where you can't really put it in words, but it makes nice pictures. And what I like about this lens here, I prefer 35 and 50 from the length, is because it's close to my own eyes. I like it. There's not much distortion going on. If you want to take a picture of landscape, you can do that with this one. It's not going to be as impressive as this one when it comes to sky or whatever, because you don't get as much sky, but it's okay. And if you want to take pictures of people, you can really take a nice photo of a person in a little bit of environment. Like with, I have another lens, I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere there. It's a 85 1.8, and I like that one. I like it for stuff that's a little bit further away or portraits. But if you're gonna take a portrait with that one, it's always gonna feel very compressed. Like the space, the face is just gonna feel like there's some sort of pressure there, and there's not much going on around the face. I mean, you could step back, you can do that, okay. But like with this lens, it feels like you're there. You're close to the person. You're not looking at them from a distance. You're not spying on them, but you're close to them. They invite you into the picture, and you have a little bit of the surroundings going on. So I love this lens. I love it so much. And I don't switch lenses. That's why there are two cameras. Plus, I figured when I initially started walking, I figured what in case one camera broke, I'd have an immediate backup. So that was the original plan, but so far no camera has ever broken. Well, yeah, it actually did. The first Canon 5D, my first lens, the 16 to 35, it broke immediately after I left Beijing, and I sent it back to Beijing to get it fixed, and I got it fixed in like a week or something. So I think during that time there's not even any selfies or something. Yeah, that's just weird. But anyway, I made do somehow. And these are the cameras. I use something that I really like, but I'm going to tell you in another video. I think it's about the filters, because I do use filters sometimes. I don't really like using filters that much because you got to change so much depending on the light, and I'm usually too lazy for that. But sometimes they come in handy. I'm going to tell you about that another time. But yeah, the cameras. I'm not even done yet. They have what I really like about them. They have like an application gateway, like a port where other people can program apps for the camera, which are going to be in the camera. Now there's not many apps for the camera because what you're gonna program for a camera. But like when I talked to you about the interval thing that I missed with the Canon, which I don't have, where I need to buy like a remote control. In a Sony thing, you go to the Sony whatever store, get like the app for, I don't know, $5 or something, put it on the camera, and then you have a full-fledged, like a time-lapse app in the camera. You can program it. It's not gonna be like a shitty little plastic remote thing, where you gotta fiddle with the controls. No, it's gonna be nice in the camera. And you can control it and tell it how many photos it's supposed to take. And it's all in there. I love it. And they're highly customizable. So like you can program all these buttons, which is really nice. What I don't like about the camera, what I really don't like, is it has picture profiles, which are really nice for filming. Like in film, you wanna film with a flat color profile where you can basically like you shoot a film that has not much saturation, not much contrast, and then you can put it into, I don't know, Final Cut or whatever, and you can edit it like you would edit a raw file, a raw picture. You do that with a film. So basically when I want to film something, I always try to put it in a mode in a picture profile that doesn't have that much contrast and not that much saturation. But when you do that, you have to switch the whole camera around, because like the video mode is a specific mode here on top. What I would like is if this mode here was completely detached from all the other modes. Like I would go into this mode and turn on the image profile, the picture profile for like super flat, no contrast, whatever, and then go back to shooting in manual, and then it will go back to not being like super flat and anything. But no, they're both connected. So whenever I switch, I have to switch the picture profile. Otherwise, my pictures are just gonna come out weird when I look at them when I'm taking them. They're not gonna come out weird in the raw file, because the raw file doesn't care about the picture profile. But this is just something like, and plus you go into like the filming mode, and what if you want to take a picture? Like maybe I'm filming, just happened to me the other day, I'm filming some sheep with a shepherd. And I'm thinking, okay, so this looks like a good picture actually. So what if I just press this button and take a picture and not film? But then the camera is gonna tell you, no, this button is not applicable in film mode. You know, you're supposed to change back to manual and then take your picture. And I'm thinking like, dude, just let me take the picture. You know, what's so hard about that? What is so hard about that? You know, so these are some things that I would change. But there's not many things actually. They're nice cameras. These are the same. They're both the what are they called? The A7SII. Both of them. They're both pretty rugged. They've both gone through extensive repairs after the car crash I had in Uzbekistan. I think one of them is even a new body or something. I'm not sure. No, I got a new lens actually. Both of the bodies got repaired, and yeah, they've been with me. They never failed, and they're easy to clean. They have like a self-cleaning mode. So yeah, I like them. I'm very happy with them. Very happy. Okay, so that was it for me. Long video about these cameras, but I figure, you know, so many people have been asking, and I never tell anybody. Why not? Why not? So yeah, I'm gonna go and take this one with the wide angle lens and take my photo of myself. I take it with a flash. I try to always bounce flash so the face is nicely exposed. And yeah, that was it for me. Have a good day. Peace.